Okay, so I just want to do a quick overview of the Winautomation console. This is the main window where we'll be creating bots, importing bots, and exporting bots. So to create a bot, we press new process, and that'll give us three different options here. We have the process designer, macro recorder, and web recorder. We'll always be using the process designer, never these two, so don't worry about that. And up here you give your bot a name, so if you're making an agility bot, you could call it something like agility bot. I'm just going to close that for now. So once you've created a bot, you can right click on the bot and you can edit its properties. Here in general, you can add a description. You can turn on automatic logging, so if something goes wrong, you'll know why it broke or whatever. We have secure screen, which will block out the screen while your bot's running, so no one can see what you're doing. Encrypted and password protected. I wouldn't worry about that too much. And here we have the max allowed running time, so if you only want a bot for an hour, you can put that in. Run policy, I wouldn't worry about anything else in here. Concurrency, you can make sure that only one of the bots are allowed to run at the same time, and error handling, you can turn that on. On the right here, you can generate an executable file. So if you want to share a executable file on another machine, you can just compile it down here and put it on a USB and transfer it. Here we have the triggers. I'm not going to go into this too much, but essentially it just checks for certain things, and if those conditions are met, it will run a bot. So we can check to see if a file has been deleted, and if it has, it'll run the bot. Or if we receive an email, if we're idle, you can check the ping of a website and run a bot. Scheduler, you can schedule bots to run at certain times or on a recurring schedule. So if you want a bot mining at 12 AM every night, you can create a schedule for that. You have your logs here, so you can keep track of errors, warnings, and information about your running bots. And here we have options. So you can display the icon in the system tray. So that's this little icon right here. Turn that off, that'll go away. You can turn on or turn off the display notification pop-up window. So when that's on and we run a bot, down here on the right we'll have this window that pops up. If you want to disable that, you can just toggle that and that'll hide it, but I like to have it on. Here you can disable or enable the triggers and schedules. So that's just what we went over earlier. You can remember the window size and layout. Start service automatically on system startup, I recommend having that on. Here you have your processes file, so this is where your robots and whatnot will be backed up. You can compact the database and make your robots file smaller. You can back up your database and save it somewhere. And if you ever need to restore it, you can restore it using the restore button. Don't worry about exe, FTP, or concurrency and authentication, they're not needed. Here you have your error handling. You can set up so certain things happen. You get an email when it fails, or you can run another process, write to a text file. You can record events to Windows Event Log, which I recommend you leave on. You can even set up the SMTP server, but that's a bit more advanced and I wouldn't worry about it. And finally, here you can load external plugins and add-ons. Currently there's only one add-on that Winautomation has officially released, and it's the Twitter add-on. Alright, so up here we have a start and stop button. When we select a robot that we want to run, we can press start. And when we want to stop it, you can press stop. You can also search for processes that contain certain words and whatnot.